Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Models Workshop After Hours. This is Larry coming at you from Central Ohio, and I'm sitting in a park. Like, literally just chilling here in the middle of the park. So if you hear some trees, or it's rustling, or it's a little breezy, that's why. I'm in a shelter, just kind of chilling out because it's a pretty day, and it's time to enjoy spring a little bit. I'd picked up a blue Snowball microphone at a pawn shop because it was super cheap, and you never know when you're going to meet someone who needs a good microphone. So I went ahead and grabbed it, and it happened to be in the back of the van, so that's what I'm recording on currently. And I dragged the laptop out, so it's sitting next to me recording this. So how's everyone been? I've been doing pretty good. I've been working a lot the last couple weekends in my studio and the workshop, getting things cleaned up. I ended up going and buying some shelves for the 3D printer, so those are finally up on their own shelves, and that's awesome. Now it's trying to get everyone else in gear to eventually come on and do an episode of the podcast. I don't know what's going on. It just seems like a lot of people are burned out still 2 years later. And yeah. Oh, it is what it is. So, what has everyone else been going I can't even talk today. What has everyone been up to? Like I said, I've been working on cleaning the podcast area a lot. I got most of it clean. Now I'm just trying to get everything organized downstairs. I got a little section for the RC cars. I got a section for the 3D printers. Then I have like general storage for stuff. I'm eventually going to be putting some walls in, seal the floor off with some tar, put some insulation so it stays warm during the winter, and get a nice space. And then upstairs, of course, I'm looking at getting it nice and neat. I already have a couple ideas as far as like tools of the trade articles and videos, and just basically I need to get off my butt and go do them. And yeah, that's the big thing. Motivation. Not even motivation, just not getting distracted. And that's been my big problem for like the last, 40 years, honestly. But especially the last couple years. I got so far off my rut and routine that I didn't know what I should be doing and where I should be going and everything. It was just crazy. I've also come to the conclusion that I've been collecting hobbies. Or better yet, collecting stuff for my hobbies has become my hobby. Like, I got into 3D printing, and so I started with one printer, modded it, and then now I have 7. Now, don't get me wrong, the reason I have 7 is I went to go look for a second printer, and I found an amazing deal on 6 printers, and I bought them. But that right there is a example of what goes on. Just like I get into podcasting, next thing I know, I've got... Well, no, to be truthful, that was over 5 or 6 years. But I've got several $1,000s worth of podcasting equipment. I've upgraded my rig so much since the last time we've really recorded, and it's just sitting there looking pretty. And I'm still planning purchases. I've got a travel podcast kit. I now have a microphone that I can just throw on my computer while I'm chilling in the park like this. And I really need to break that rut. I need to break out of the entirety of collecting stuff for my hobbies, becoming my hobbies, but me not doing my actual hobbies, if that makes any sense. I need to, if I'm going to purchase something, I need to have a purpose for it, not just shelf candy or something looking pretty. And I think that's where I've been going wrong, is that I just kind of throw money at stuff to collect it. I kind of turned everything into Magic the Gathering, and Magic's kind of one of those weird hobbies where it is collectible too, because it's a CCG. And so I was just collecting everything with Magic, and that's kind of normal for Magic. But then I started doing it with miniatures, I started doing it with printers, I started doing it with podcasting, RC cars. Every single one of those hobbies I can honestly point at and be like, I just buy stuff for that, to buy stuff. And I need to break that because 1, it costs me a lot of money. 2, I buy shit that I never use. And 3, I could be using that money to buy products to do reviews on. And that's another thing. I have so many products for review that I have sitting around, but I just can't get, I don't know if I would call it the motivation. I just can't bring myself to record the damn videos, and I don't know why. I have the storyboards of how I want to shoot the videos, and even if those are not the end of the storyboards, maybe we had to modify it a little. I still have a good idea of where I want to start, the shots that I want to get. I did buy a gimbal, and part of that was to make better videos, and I'm just kind of floundering on I don't know. I really don't. I need a little person. I need to hire someone for like minimum wage or some shit with a little whip, and they get to tase me every time I get fucking distracted on something, because I squirrel so damn bad, and it's just like, what the hell, man? What am I doing? And I honestly, I don't know. I just need to start paying attention and focusing more, or at all, and start getting stuff done. So my goal for this upcoming weekend is I want to start the video for the first tools of the trade. So, and that's going to be on flush cutters. And then eventually what I want to do is do a series like, hey, this is what flush cutters are. And then the next one, I'll take like 3 different flush cutters and I'll go through them and I'll grade them. If anyone's seen the professor from Clarion Community College, he's a magic YouTuber, something very similar to that. And go through and rate all the different ones. And it doesn't mean that I'm going to be like doing 10 videos in a row on flush cutters. It's going to be, I do a video on flush cutters, and then I do a video on paint brushes, and I talk about the different types of paint brushes and what their properties are, and then I move on to another thing, paints and paint additives, and then maybe 5 or 6 videos later I'll come back and I'll do another 2 or 3 different flush cutters, and I talk about them like, hey, and I think that's how I'm going to do it and what I want to do. And also, another thing I want to do is start going to all the different gaming shops, like Game Haven. I just scrolled past an advertisement on Facebook, which is one of my LGSs here in Dayton. I want to go there and take my portable podcasting kit, part of the reason I built it, and sit down and do an interview with the owners of the Game Haven or the manager of the Game Haven, and have him talk about what it's like to run a shop, the problems they've had, what they love about working in the community, about their shop, and then slowly work my way all around central Indiana and central Ohio, talk to all the different people, and then once conventions start again, go and do the same thing with some people within the community, just something different. And I just confirmed with Yeji she does plan on coming back eventually one of these years. Just when, I'm not entirely sure. But it's one of those, I'd love to do some more live interview. So yeah, I think I have a plan. I have all these plans. That's what it is. I have all of these plans, and I never follow through to completion. I have all these plans on how to do all of this stuff, and if I did it, it would be awesome. At least I think so. And humbly, I think it would be awesome. But it would be awesome. But the problem is that I get distracted and I just don't follow through on it. I go, I got this plan, I'm going to do it. I plan it out, and then I'm like, ooh, squirrel. Move on to the next thing. And then, or I'll move to the next hobby like, ooh, squirrel, RC cars. And it just keeps going on, and I need to figure out how to break that. And I know I need to figure out how to break that. So I have a little pocket notebook that I went out and bought, and I picked up a new space pen. I had one way about 10 years ago, and I absolutely loved it. And our local Office Max is going out of business, and it was like 20% off, and they had a space pen thing, and I was like, ooh, yes. If you've never had a space pen, they're awesome. They write on everything, literally. Let's see. Yep, wrote on the ball. So there's now a squiggle on this ball forever and today until I wipe it off. But it's like, what am I going to do for the weekend? I'm going to shoot the flush cutter video because I can't do anything else with flush cutters until I do the flush cutter video. And that one's going to be kind of clinical, just me explaining what is a flush cutter, what is, what their purpose is, why you should use them over using stuff like, say, scissors or fingernail clippers and stuff like that. And I don't make any money off of YouTube, so I'm not going to shoot for 8 to 10 minutes. I'm going to record it until it's done, probably 5 or 6 minute video. Now, when I start rating them, that'll be a little bit different. They'll be a little bit longer because just on the sheer fact of I'm doing 2 or 3 products and I want to give them all their just due. And so there's that. So goal 1 for this weekend is shoot the flush cutter video. And if I have time, shoot the first review. Because I upgraded my laptop from the last time I used it, and I doubled the RAM. I put a faster hard drive in it. Actually, I put an M.2 drive in it and took out the mechanical hard drive, so it now has an SSD. And so it's a lot faster and a lot more energy efficient too. So I can shoot the videos, download them to the laptop, and then edit them from the laptop. So that's a Pokeball. And that's my goals. There's those 2 right there. Actually get some video done, and it really sucks because it's take my tripod, attach my gimbal to the tripod, attach my phone into the gimbal, and record video. That's literally all it takes. And do a couple takes. So a 5-minute video should honestly take me 20-30 minutes to shoot, because I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking about getting good information out to everyone. Now I just have to make a list of what I definitely want to hit upon, And that's another thing. Whenever I'm talking about different devices, do I go super clinical? Do I keep it kind of rudimentary? Do I have a mix of both? I think a mix of both is probably going to be the best. Where I discuss like what metrics I'm going to use, what information I'm going to give, like length, thickness, price, how it cuts, do actual cuts so I can do a comparison, be like, hey, you can look at these. So yeah, I think that is one thing that I'm going to have to do, is figure out the different metrics I'm going to use for the different products that are out there. Because the one thing that Tolarian Community College has that's above is that there's only a couple things you can do with sleeves and then it's done. And mine, I have to look at, because every single thing that I test and every type of metric I do is going to be unique to the product type. Like flush cutters are not going to be rated the same way that paintbrushes are, because they're 2 completely and absolutely different tools. Same with airbrushes. Even though airbrushes do the same thing kind of as a paintbrush, I still have to look at them differently. So yeah, there's that. And, that's part of the fun, is the planning and the execution. I don't know, maybe my hobby is planning. I love planning, I just don't like the execution. I wish I had a production team where I could plan everything out and hand it to them and go, here, go shoot this. And they go shoot it, and I'm like, awesome. Maybe that's what I need, a full production team. Oh well, one of these days. I am also going to be redoing the website. I don't like the direction that it's taken. I don't like the fact that we're not posting there, so I'm going to go out of my way to make sure that articles are going up. Like, whenever I shoot a video, I want a companion article to go along with it, so there's always a reference in writing. And I think, honestly, that'll do people a lot of good, because it is... I don't know, some people learn visually or listen visually. Some people don't have the time to sit down and read. Some people, like me, I listen to a lot of audiobooks and a lot of podcasts and YouTube videos because I don't have time to just sit down and read very often. And also, when I have my downtime, I need to learn how to use it properly. Like, instead of just sitting there and scrolling through TikTok, I need to either A, be planning a good TikTok to make that's positive for Models Workshop, or I need to be planning the next podcast, or I should be planning a video to shoot. Yeah, I honestly think that if I would learn better time management and work on my focus, that we really could expand this and to be big. So, I don't know. What's your thoughts, humble listener? What's your thoughts? Do you think that I'm just crazy and I should just give in, throw in the towel? Or do you think I should keep doing this and working? I don't know. But regardless of my decision, I need to shit or get out the pot. I need to either figure out what I'm going to do and then follow through with it, or just quit. Because it's not fair to myself. It's not fair to my partners. It's not fair to you guys because I keep teasing that we're coming back and then we don't. And then we keep teasing we're coming back and we don't. I need to actually focus. I need to treat, and as sad as this may sound, I need to treat Models Workshop like a job, like an actual honest-to-goodness job, and I need to block time to do it. It doesn't have to be a bad job. It doesn't have to be a job that I dislike, because if that was the case, I'd quit. But I still have to treat it like a job, where I block out certain amounts of time to actually do this and work on it and give it my 110%. Because if I don't, I think I'm going to get distracted and kind of go off on kilter. So that's something. That's definitely something. Oh, we should do some Jersey Boy shit. Let's see. Who's around? Contact. See if JJ's up. Come on, Jay.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Hey, I'm sitting in the park. I'm recording a podcast episode, and I decided to give you a call and do like some Jersey Boy shit and all that jazz. What are you up to?
Hold on a sec. Let me get outside. I can barely fucking hear you. Dogs are losing their fucking minds. So what about Jersey Boy shit now?
I said I'm recording a podcast, and I decided to do some Jersey Boy shit and give you a call mid-recording to see what you're doing.
Oh, okay.
By the way, this call is being monitored for your protection.
Quality and assurance purposes.
Right.
Not a whole lot today.
Really?
Running around. Running the kids all over the place.
Oh, playing Daddy Taxi.
Pretty much.
That's always fun. Yeah, I'm literally just chilling in the middle of Dayton, Ohio, actually Vandalia, at a park, and that blue snowball that I bought like a month ago was just chilling in the back of my car. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna grab it. I'm going to yank my laptop out, and I'm gonna record something because damn it, I want to record.
Fair enough. I can tell you that you're coming in crystal fucking clear. That's for damn sure.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I'm hiding in a shelter where the wind is, or where the wind can't be. Yeah, you're actually coming in pretty good on the recording, too. That's always good. But, yeah, I went and got my second COVID vaccine today. So, I'm dreading tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah. Twins went and got their first round today, so Chris is already feeling a little sleepy.
Yeah, sleepy and feverish, so I'm going to start taking aspirin probably here. Aspirin and Tylenol, probably start taking it here in the next hour or so to try to jump in front of what's going on.
How's your signal, though? I mean, you're coming in clear, so I'm guessing the 5G is finally working?
I'm guessing that the 5G upgrade finally actually started working out and is working properly now, so I'm super happy about that. 5G is definitely clear. Oh man, you had the one and done shot, didn't you?
Yeah.
Who makes that?
Johnson & Johnson.
Have you seen the news?
I have. About 2 days after I got my shot is when they started talking about it. So.
Well, luckily.
One caught yet. Woo.
Luckily, it seems to be very, very rare. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's been 6 total cases of it at this point.
Yeah.
You know, they've probably done 500,000 shots.
Yep. Or probably even more, to tell you the truth.
Probably more, but...
So, yeah, it's just, so I personally had Pfizer, so...
Yeah, that's what the kids got today, I think.
From my understanding, it's the most effective, but it has the, like, almost everybody manifests side effects from it. And it's nothing serious. Like when I got my first shot, I was running a mild fever, and I felt like death. And from what I have heard and the people I've talked to, that's actually really, really common. Like almost everybody has that particular reaction, and it lasts like one day and it's done.
Yeah. No, mine had me down for about 2 days, but after that, I've been feeling pretty good since.
Oh, man. So, yeah, some crazy stuff happened.
That's what I was hearing. So, there's a wedding?
Well, I don't know about a full-fledged wedding, but basically Kara's decided to move on from her current position. She is thoroughly not enjoying being an MA anymore. She's tried it and she just doesn't see. And it was kind of funny because she posted that she was having a miserable time on Facebook and all of that. Well, her former manager from 20 years ago, when she worked in fast food, messaged her and was like, "You looking for a job?" And Kara was like, "Yeah." And she loved that manager. Actually, it's funny because the store that she was working at was where we met. We were both working at the same store, and that's how Kara and I met. So, and in a nutshell, there's a dog coming around to visit. Hey, doggo. So she went and had a talk with her. Luann was like, "Hey, just come in. I want to talk to you." And so she did. She came in, talked to her and all that stuff, and she accepted it. It is a loss in pay, and I'm now going to have to upgrade my insurance to cover everyone again. But it's not going to put us in a financial pinch. And honestly, if it's going to make her a lot happier, then awesome. And she's leaving her other job properly, so even if she tends to not like it, it's not like she can't go and reapply and end up going back. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, I think we might have... Did I lose him, or did I think I lost him. Ruh-roh. I think I... Oopsie.
Hello.
I took my earbud out, and I think I might have hung up on you during the removing of the earbud. So what I was saying is she's doing everything right. She's giving 2 weeks. So if she decides that where she's going isn't going to work, she can always still go back to the hospital and reapply for her position. So she's doing things properly, and we are going to lose money pay-wise, but money can't buy happiness, and money can't buy good mental health, and it was really starting to strain. But the thing is that with her leaving her position now, she's going to end up losing her health care, and it's not like her and I haven't been living together for the last year and a half, so effectively we're just going to officially get remarried so we can make sure she can maintain insurance and all that jazz.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so that's the reason for the rushed wedding, primarily because, got to make sure she keeps her medicine and stuff. So what have you been up to today?
Like I said, not a whole lot. Playing a lot of Dad Taxi. Sammy had iStep testing, or whatever the hell they call it now.
I think it's still iStep.
I think his is iLearn.
What? Oh,
yeah,
Lord.
Pretty much.
Stupidity.
So, Sammy had that. The twins had their shots. Like I said, kind of playing taxi.
You get to deal with both of the twins being cranky asses tonight. I do not at all. I pity you. I pity you.
They'll probably be fine. Sarah will probably be a jerk, so it'll be fine.
So everything will be normal.
Pretty much. Status quo, my man. Status quo. And right now, I'm making paint on models, because...
What? Whoa. What? Did you say you're painting models?
I am.
No.
It's true. That's what we're actually supposed to do when we do these little podcasts, these rap sessions. It's we're actually supposed to be now. What you paint is really up to you, but I would start with your 14,000 points.
15,000.
15,000 points, whatever.
Whatever.
Put some paint on some fucking models, dude.
Well, I can't because I'm sitting in the middle of a park. This is Models Workshop in the park. Happy Little Trees edition.
Paint that happy.
But, that is true. And actually, earlier on the podcast, I wish I had called you earlier, I was discussing how I have been collecting hobbies instead of actually doing hobbies. I've been not so much collecting hobbies in a way of doing a whole bunch of different hobbies, but collecting a whole bunch of stuff for the hobbies that I have. Like, start off with one printer, buy a whole bunch of upgrades for the printer, and now I have 7 printers. Now, like I said earlier, I got them at a steal, so I really can't blame it on that. But it just seems that's like buy an RC car. Now I have 4 of them. I start a podcast, so I have 8 mics that are all like higher end mic. Actually, than that now. God,
You probably have.
I have a problem. But that's the point that I'm making, is that I buy all of this gear and all of this stuff with the idea that I'm going to do X, Y, Z, and I prepare it, but I never fucking do it. And it's just like, I really need to go past the I'm planning stages and actually do the I'm working on it stage.
I get that, and I think that's obvious. That's honestly a rut that a lot of people, in really any hobby, but it seems like in the models hobbies in particular, that's what they run into, because they'll get, oh, well, this is the new thing on my mind. This is a new project. I'm going to spend umpteen hours researching it. So then they're in the research phase, but all they want to do is sit back and research.
Yeah, I need to get out of the research phase. Like, I have all this information. I have so many articles that are like 85% written, just sitting in my drive, and I'm like, why? I have enough material that I could post for probably the next 6 months with little to no problem. I just need to sit down and take some pictures and get it formatted on the website. But because I'm stuck in the planning stage forever, I should have become a wedding planner. Damn it.
Oh, about it.
Right? Plan the hell out of stuff and then hand it off to someone else to execute it.
The only problem you would have is that little thing that most weddings and most hobbies has, the budget.
What are budgets?
Exactly. That's. See, you would have been good for like celebrity. Larry Killian, wedding planner for the stars.
Larry Killian, the straight wedding planner.
Well, let's not go too far now.
Hey.
Well, you are getting married. Really, there's some proof to the contrary. So.
Yeah, but talk about being in such a rut. I'm marrying the same woman I was married to.
Well, there's a joke in there somewhere that if I really wanted to, I could find it. But I'm just gonna leave that all.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you guys. Excited.
Let's try this again. Oh.
I was gonna go with the whole "what's the definition of it?"
No one ever said I was sane, you know?
Hey.
Insanity. Oh.
Everybody, the color scheme for the wedding is straight jacket gray. Pretty little trees. I have so much shit. I know I can't even talk to you. I've never gotten this backlogged. So it's finally just been driving me nuts to where I decided I had to put about it. So I'm painting my obliterator. Because of the chaos models I have, you're probably...
My phone is at 2%, so it might die here in a minute. Actually, it's going to die here in a minute. I just don't know when that minute is going to be. Yeah, so we're in discussion, folks. Myself, Yeji, Christopher, JJ, we're all sitting down and discussing when we're going to start the podcast back up. And it's looking like the Saturdays of my long week. So the 24th, the 8th, and 22nd and 5th, so on and so forth, will probably be the recording days. Which means they should be out the following Monday. So if it records on the 24th, we'll have it out either on the 25th or 26th, so on and so forth. And then, of course, we have Jay and I going live on Stereo on Wednesdays at 7:30 in the evening. And we'll usually... And there it goes. And we'll be putting those up. So my phone just hung up, so Jay's gone. I could always log into my tablet, which is actually sitting right here, and give him a call on Messenger. I could do that. Oh, so much stuff going on. Do. Yeah, so that's what's been going on, folks. I know, so exciting. I'm such an exciting bloke. But yeah, so we are definitely making plans, and we're definitely coming up with stuff and figuring out what to do. JJ sent me a whole bunch of turrets for a whirlwind. Okay, some of these are actually really... I like that one. Yeah, of course, I'm sitting here talking like I like that one, I like that one, I like that one. Oh, let's do this. Yeah, see if he actually picks up. Probably not. Do. 36 minutes in so far. Not doing too bad. So, I've been actually trying to break my rut. And I actually, last week, sat down. I bought a book, like an actual paper book. Sat down and read it. Now, it was Paper Towns by John Green. And as big as John Green is as an author, and the fact that he lived right down the road from me, meaning like right down the road in Indianapolis, not like right down the road in my small town, Indiana. But there's actually a couple of people that do, and I'll explain in a minute. But I picked up that book, and it was the first John Green book I ever read, and I haven't watched any of his movies or anything, so I have not seen A Fault in Your Stars. But, oh my goodness. Now I see why people really like him as an author. I read it in 2 sittings. I read the first part of it, the first 1/3 of it in 1 sitting, and then I finished it in the next sitting, and I loved it. So the next day, I purchased on Audible Fault in Our Stars, which is narrated by Kate Rudd, which is one of my favorite female narrators. Like, I didn't even know she narrated this book. Apparently, she won a whole bunch of awards. And in passing, I spoke with her years ago because she was narrating, what was it? A series of books that I was listening. I think it was by Lisa Reagan. But, Rias Walker. She was narrating her series, and I reached out and was like, hey, I just mentioned that she was like my favorite female narrator. She's basically my female R.C. Bray. And if you don't know who R.C. Bray is, he's a huge narrator, and he's also one of my favorites. And she was like, thank you for comparing us, etc. And I don't think I'll ever be as big as him. But, fast forward, now she's narrating all the John Green books. But she does such an amazing job. And she honestly brings up what the difference between a storyteller and a narrator is. A storyteller can be a narrator, but a narrator isn't always a storyteller. And like, I'm listening to a book right now, and it has a narrator, and he's doing a great job as a narrator, but he's not doing a good job as a storyteller. And like, all the voices are the same, there's no differentiation, and it's really disappointing because it's a really amazing book. It's The Test of the Twins by Margaret Weis and Tracy Hickman, and I was really looking forward to hearing the different voices like Raceland, Cameron, Taz, whatever. And he just doesn't. He's reading the book to us. So he's a good narrator, but he's not a good storyteller. Well, Kate Rudd does an amazing job as being a storyteller, and everybody has their own voice. You get a sense of identity with each individual character, and I am not afraid to admit I bawled. That book is so sad, and I've heard that the movie is just as sad. So I did read that, and then the next day I ended up picking up Turtles All the Way Down, which is another book by John Green. I actually ordered the physical book and then bought the audiobook. But part of the reason is I bought 2 signed copies of Turtles All the Way Down for a friend of mine and myself. And then I bought the audiobook. And honestly, of the 3 that I've read, it's probably the weakest, in my opinion. It's still a great book, but I think the other 2 really captured my attention more. Now, I've still got a few more books of his to go through, and some of them I already own, like Great Abundances of Catherine's, I think is one of them. And then he has a new book coming out here soon that I need to go pre-order as well. But I've really, really enjoyed John Green. It was really refreshing. And like I said on Facebook, Fault in Our Stars is one of the best books that I have ever read. Period. Full stop. And it's sad as hell. And it's so good. And it tells such a good story. And it's only 8 hours long, 300 pages. And it's one of those books that I really wish was longer. I wish we could have really seen more of the characters. And at the same time, I'm happy it didn't, because it was so damn sad at the end that I don't think I could have really dealt with that much more heartbreak. But all the adventures they go on, they're so well done. The characters are so lovable. Kate Rudd does such an amazing job bringing them to life. Superb. Honestly, I don't really like typically purchasing short audiobooks, meaning under 10 hours, but that one was absolutely worth every penny that I spent on it, just because it's so good. Because here's the thing. Listening to it once to be amazed by the story, and then you can automatically, as soon as you're done with it the first time, turn around and re-listen just to get the nuances that you missed and just to listen to it again. And yeah, it's that type of book that you can listen to it back to back and still just be amazed by it. So yeah, book recommendation. If you seriously want a good book to read, go get Fault in Our Stars. So good, so amazing, such amazing. And the cool thing is that a lot of the places that he was talking about in the book exist in real life, and some of them I've been to. So I thought about doing a series where I take an entire day and just drive to the different places that John talks about in his book and just like shoot videos of them and have like the video tour of The Fault in Our Stars. I thought that would be kind of cool. I don't know. Maybe. I still think it would be kind of cool. Ideas. See? Planning. Now the problem is I need to go fucking execute it. I'm planning on doing it. Now I need to actually execute and go do it. But yeah. So that's what I've been up to. I actually read a physical book, which is the first in forever. I actually have another physical book to go read here soon. We're actually sitting down and planning on recording the podcast. So there's that. And I think once Yeji and I come back in, everyone else will start sliding back into the fold and get in the rut. That's the thing. We need to get in the rut, get in the pattern of actually doing it. I'm working on some new logo work for the podcast and the website as a whole. I'm actually working on a new layout for the website, period. I think there's some cool ideas that we can expand upon and go through the older stuff and look at some of the old ideas that worked. Like, I want to start bringing back Kick-Ass Kickstarter. We've done a lot of good for people, especially the smaller Kickstarters, and I think that is a good idea. Something good that we can do is to do the Kick-Ass Kickstarters, help out the smaller Kickstarters, bring attention to them. And it was a fun feature to do. I'm a very opinionated bastard, as some of you know, and I love giving my opinion on the different Kickstarters that are out there. So I think that feature will end up coming back. And there's a couple others that I want to do and I actually want to expand on and do and work on. But I need to stop planning it and I need to execute it. So give me a message and be like, hey, have you actually executed that plan that you're planning on? Or are you still sitting on your butt, fat man? Get on to me, ride my case. But anyways, we're sitting at about 45 minutes. I think we've done some pretty good here. Had a good discussion, talked about some stuff. I got some stuff off my chest. I've realized a few things myself, things that I need to do, because I'm my own worst enemy. But anyways, model workers, love you guys. Thank you for sticking with us. We are coming back, I promise. And one of these days we might actually stick with it, damn it. Execute, Larry. Execute. That's my key word. Execute. First mate. Execute. Anyways, thanks guys. Talk to you again soon.